816 and or 1700. Here's a suggestion. You have a question or comment? Perhaps you can get a pencil, piece of paper, write it down so that you're well organized, and when you're getting on the show, you take as little time as possible so that we can accommodate as many of you as we can. We ask only, first of all, to respect yourselves and then respect others, because we will not accept anything that we deem that's not within our broadcast standards, but we encourage you to always be forceful with your point. Thank you all again for joining us. This is your voice in the community, Talk That Get Results. Also, you can follow our live video stream on our Facebook page at Vaughan Radio and our YouTube channel at Vaughan Radio. Thank you all again. Tonight, one of the premier festivals in Nevis, featuring one of the local fruits. If you're from the islands, you know about it, but I'm certain you're going to learn something about it that maybe you didn't know tonight. I have two members of the Nevis Tourism Authority here with us. I have Devon, and the other fellow who I have, he's always been here under a different heading and a different dressing. But it's so good to have him anyway, and maybe since he's in another role now, maybe we may have him more often, who knows, have him with the regular panel. Devon, good evening.
Good evening, Webbo, and good evening to the listeners of the Powerhouse of the Caribbean, Vaughan Radio, and it's indeed a pleasure to be here this evening.
Devon, why don't you introduce you, the next?
Well, I'm the CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority, and with me today is the Director of Sales and Marketing, Mr. Fayon Jones, and I mean, we're happy to be here to share and give a little bit more insight into what's happening this weekend regarding our Mango Festival.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Okay, Fayon.
Webbo.
It's always good to have you. You've been here under a different heading for a number of years, and it's good to have you as part of the Nevis Tourism Authority. And we hope, of course, that we will see you as frequent as we normally see you in the other aspect. Always good to have you.
It's always good to be here.
Right. Now, so we're having the Mango Festival. Did we say this weekend?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we first get a contribution from Devon, and then we get a contribution from you, and then we can do a through crossing, right?
Okay.
Okay, Devon.
Yeah, so this weekend, June 30th to July 2nd, we're celebrating the 9th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. And we have this festival, we've had this festival over the past 9 years because we wanted to have an event where we're able to attract some more persons to come and enjoy what Nevis has to offer, and especially in the off-season, outside of the normal tourist season, which is from November, December to April, thereabout. So that's why we decided to look at this festival. You may know that we have over 44 varieties of mangoes. That is what the Agriculture Department is telling us, over 44 varieties of name brand. However, they're indicating that it's more like closer to 100 varieties, some names that they're not able to indicate or identify. So because of this, we thought that we'll have a festival surrounding this event. So the 3-day events that we're having on the weekend is in celebration of this King of Fruits. And if you're Nevisian, if you're Kittian, we all love mangoes. I don't think that there anyone on St. Kitts and Nevis who does not like mangoes.
Yes, Fayon.
Well, just to add to my CEO, because you said it all, you should just come to the event. It starts this Friday. But, the Nevis Mango Festival, of course, was created 9 years ago. And I think this really ties in and helps with the local tourism. It really plays a great part in what we're trying to promote here in Nevis. There's nothing as sweet as a Nevis mango. Let us just say that first. And we have crafted this festival, a 3-day festival around the King of Fruits. There's a big debate happening right now on social media and within Nevis and St. Kitts, which is the best mango. And I think the two mangoes that they name is the Julie versus the Amrapali. I guess we could have some discussion on that tonight, but I'm just going to be biased right now and say my favorite mango is the Amrapali.
You can't get any better than the Amrapali. But I must insert here that if you have a good long mango and you put it up to cure for about 5 days, then the long mango beats every other mango.
Let's see what Webbo says.
You got any Amrapali you can bring for me? My favorite is that as well.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend of mine, she likes the grafted.
Okay.
You know, there was a time when that used to be
number one,
yeah. Well, I'm not even sure if those days we used to have the Amrapali so popular when the grafted was.
I grew up eating a lot of grafted as well, but
the regular Pali, it was, you know, was king at the time too. You know,
You're talking about the bastard Pali?
The bastard?
Yeah. You said regular Pali. You meant the other Pali other than the Amrapali. Yeah. That's what we call the bastard Pali.
Oh, really?
Some persons are indicating that it's a wrong name for us to give to that Pali because it's one of the mangoes of Nevis, as opposed to Amrapali may have been imported at some point in time, so we shouldn't really.
And the other Pali was not imported.
No. They're saying it's indigenous to Nevis. So.
And you believe them?
I don't know. I'm not
just asking.
But I guess before Amrapali became popular, I mean there was that Pali. So hence we should not be calling it the bastard Pali.
You know, through my life, Sojourn, I'm learning and I'm trying to figure out history. And I've coined a quote of my own that some people want to write history, they will like it to be read. So you said the the other Pali wasn't brought here.
I can't verify that fact.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Depending on who tells you the history, you know. Anyway, so the festival has been going on for a little bit.
9 years to be exact. We're in our 9th year, and I don't want to be biased, but I will. I think this year is going to be the biggest mango festival. All the indications that we have in relation to ticket sales, the level of marketing we would have put into it this year indicates that it's going to be the biggest mango festival. If you permit me, I want to speak about the days. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so we want to start the mango festival. It's starting this Friday, the 30th of June. You're going to have your official speeches, the welcome ceremony, etc. And then we're going to go right into a master class with our international chef, Chef Tayo. That event has already been sold out. It's going to be at Jujop's. I think it's starting at around 10:30. Mr. Leiber, around there?
It's at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And when we indicate sold out, it's persons who are actually participating in the cooking competition. But if folks are out there want to come and witness the event, they are free to do so.
Okay, so if you want to come and witness the event, you can. If you want to log in and look at it as well and probably cook from home, that's also a possibility. It's going to be a mango-inspired dish that should last around 45 minutes. After that event in the afternoon, we have more of a family-friendly event over at Indian Castle Food Orchard. Now that's the orchard, yes, that's a new venue for the government. I think it's about 2 years old. 30 acres of land, and the backdrop is the lovely ocean, of course. We're going to have the mango hunting competition. We're going to have the mango eating competition. My new, and I'm sure it's going to be my favorite, the mango stoning competition. This is where we're going to find out who grew up inside and who grew up outside. And of course, we're also going to have the mixologist competition and that's drinks with that will be mango infused. So that's a great event. It's only $10 to enter. If you're a child and you're wearing your school uniform, it's $1. We understand that the semester has been a very long one, so we want the children to have some fun. And if you're a child and you're outside of your school uniform, it's only $5. And we just want to encourage everyone to come on over to Indian Castle on that Friday. Now, in the evening, beginning at around 6:30, we'll be having the bar crawl, and that's at Penny's Beach. Persons are able to come down on the beach, go to your favorite restaurants, and get mango-infused cocktails. They will be at a discounted cost. And I just want to say, we all know that mango tastes good. And from what I heard, alcohol, has a good taste sometimes. So two of them together should be very good. So we just want to encourage you to drink responsibly. Please don't overdo it. We want to ensure your safety as well. 1, 2, 3, whatever your limit is, please know your limit. But come out and have some fun for Mango Festival. And that concludes the Friday.
I wanted to ask something if you know. To me, and maybe it's just that I have not been in contact with the right connections, but I didn't realize that the mango season had come. No, work with me, because I didn't see a lot in the trees that I have. It's now that they're bearing full mangoes in them and stuff like that. So when I heard that you were having the festival, I thought, well, where are they going to get mangoes from? Because I've not been seeing the amount of mangoes that I normally see. So did I miss something?
Well, this year we've had some issues with nature. Mm-hmm. Nature didn't cooperate well with us this year, because we had two crops of, we had an early crop of mangoes that came in around April, and mangoes were in abundance at that time. And while that crop was coming in, they will blossom on the tree for a later crop.
Okay.
And so traditionally, around this time, June, July, was the time when we have lots of mangoes in abundance, and hence the reason for the Mango Festival around this particular time of the year. But this year we've seen the challenge in August. In the middle of August, there's going to be a bountiful crop again, once the monkey allows us to. And but despite that fact, we are still moving forward with the Mango Festival. We may be limited on the fresh mangoes that we have, but thanks to our agro-processing unit, they have stockpiled mango pulp from last year and from the previous crops. So all of the chefs that are participating in the event would be able to utilize the pulp that is on hand. And by the grace of God, we'll have a few mangoes so that our patrons can be able to sample and taste.
So I wasn't all the way off then.
No, you weren't.
And so therefore, people who normally would come here the summer after summer can still get the Feast of Mangoes.
Yeah, and especially coming in for Culturama, those folks coming in for Culturama will have access to an abundance of mangoes.
So it's just maybe then just thinking aloud, it's not just that people forgot me, just that they didn't have as many mangoes.
Not at this time. No, not at this time.
But just to add as well, the agriculture department, they're actually out there scouting as well. So we're going to have mangoes. I believe in the agriculture department.
Okay, I also wanted to ask, I noticed that they're making more and more stuff using the mangoes.
Yes. I wish I had our good friend Alexis Arterton here, because he's the one in charge of that, and he showed me the list. There's so much things that's going to be there this coming Sunday. He spoke about shrimps, he spoke about ice cream, he spoke about pudding, he spoke about cake, he spoke about grilled pork, I think. He spoke about vegans having options. If you're Rastafarian, you have an option. meat lovers having options. Everything is available at the Mango Festival this year. Just to jump, I guess, into the Sunday, we have over 32 different local chefs that will be there. Everyone is going to be there. I dare say nowhere else is going to be open that Sunday. just come to the Malcolm Gishard Park. We are going to be having For the Love of Mango Festival that Sunday, and one of the great additions to it is the cook-off. Actually, this year we are having Team Barbados versus Team Nevis, so that's going to be very interesting. We would have been in Barbados recently promoting this same Mango Festival, and a little rivalry has started, and we are going to see who could perform the best with the mango. I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to say the best persons will win.
Will indeed win. But to pick up on what Fern would have indicated and to support what you said, Webbo, in addition to food and drinks, we're going to have a wellness zone.
Yes.
Products, mango cream, mango lotion,
Oils.
mango oils. We're going to have someone doing massages using mango oils. We're going to have painting. We're going to have a demonstration of how you can use the mango and the mango skin in the dyeing process, dyeing of fabrics and so forth.
Yes.
We hopefully will have a panel discussion on mangoes. So it's not all about food, although food is the bulk portion of it, but we really want to showcase the versatility of the mango in its use. And we would have realized that over the years, since we've had the Mango Festival, that we've seen so many growth in cottage industries relating to the use of mango and a greater appreciation of our Nevision into its use, other than just peeling the skin off and eating it.
Yes.
Have we engaged a nutritionist? Do we know that? Because all of these mangoes, they're going to be, folks are going to be watching their weight because it's sweet,
Well,
it's sugar wise and so on. Have we?
It's only a day, It's only 3 days. You could live a little, binge a little. That's okay, Last weekend they had a great music festival. People jump up, enjoy themselves. Now come over to Nevis. Nevis is the vibe. Relax, eat some mangoes, and have a good time.
And in support for your call for the nutritionist, we're trying to source as part of our panel for Sunday a nutritionist to talk and speak about the medicinal usage of mangoes and how it benefits us. Yes, so we're thinking of that.
Because people have health issues, and people who are diabetic and so on.
That is true.
They might know, can we eat some? Is it natural, sweet? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it always helps. Yeah. Okay, so it's coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
It's coming up this weekend. I just want to backtrack just a bit and speak about the Saturday as well. So the Mango Festival is this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. We would have covered the Friday and we would have covered the Sunday. Just to speak on the Sunday real quick, the ticket system is tiered system. $50 will give you 5 samples, and that's EC. $75 EC will give you 10 samples, and $100 EC will give you 15 samples. I just want you to know right now that the tickets are going as fast as the Amripalis. They are moving. We are in the hundreds as it relates to the tickets. My CEO has indicated that I cannot give out the number, but all I'm going to say is you need to come now and get your tickets for the For Love of Mango Festival. Now, going into Saturday is a more relaxed, laid-back day where you're going to be able to drive through Nevis and enjoy Nevis. Go to the local mom and pop restaurants. We will give you a passport. The passport is free of cost. You're going to go to these different restaurants and they will stamp your passports once you try the sample. The only thing you have to pay for on that Saturday would be the samples at the different venues or the different mom and pop stores. The person who manages to collect the most stamps will get something special from NTA. Moving right along to the Saturday evening, and that will be the supper club, where our international chef, Chef Tayo, will collaborate with Chef Liam at Mount Nevis, and they are doing, I think, a 3-course meal, mango infused, mango inspired, and it's going to be a night of great conversation, good music. I'm hearing that maybe steel pan or jazz music, that's always nice to set the setting. And it's a good event. That is only 100 US. The event is almost sold out, so if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, we encourage you to call Mount Nevis. They would have recently renovated, and book your night at, book your night. Yes, book the dinner at Mount Nevis. But if you want to book a night at Mount Nevis also, you can as well, because Nevis is the vibe.
All right, so what else we got? We
have some other things.
Okay, you got.
Yes, we do. No, we were in St. Kitts today, and I just want to encourage our Kittitian brothers and sisters, and even persons in Nevis. You don't have to spend the weekend home this weekend. There are a lot of great packages that the hotels are offering right now. 2 years ago, when COVID hit, we realized after there was a surge in relations to Kittitians coming to Nevis and liming and having fun, and they used to say that Nevis is a vibe. You support me on that one, my CEO. Nevis is a vibe. That's what they said back then. Mm-hmm. We have now established that Nevis is the vibe. Nevis is the vibe. And the hotels, they've come together. They all have created special packages. You need to reach out to them. So anyone coming over for the Mango Festival, you don't have to go back on the boat. You could stay over in Nevis a couple of days. Have a great time. Have a good time with us. I'm aware that Islander Water Sports, they're also offering a special to come over at discounted rate. That should come out this week as well. So we're just encouraging everyone to come over to the Mango Festival. As I said, the tickets are moving fast as an Army Party Mango, and we just want to encourage everyone to come to the 9th edition of the Nevis Mango Festival. I promise you it's going to be a very, very good event. And I want to also say that the host of this year's Nevis Mango Festival is I Am Julie Mango. I'm not certain how much persons follow on IG. I know she has a very big following, and she is hilarious. She's going to be at the Nevis Mango Festival. So if you want to meet Julie Mango, you can only meet Julie Mango if you come out to the Nevis Mango Festival.
And as we wrap up, Webbo, I just want to let folks know that 2024 we're coming with the 10th edition of the Mango Festival, and we haven't started to plan yet, but indeed it's going to be something to look forward to, and we're looking forward to that particular edition of our Mango Festival. And while we wrap up, we just want to say thanks to all of our sponsors. We have Bunny, our diamond sponsor. We have Rams, our sapphire sponsor, Digicel, Caribbery, Hosfords, the Agriculture Ministry and Department, the Bank of Nevis Limited, National Bank, and COI, and all the other persons who have supported us and who continue to support us in the Mango Festival. We want to say thank you very much, because we are unable to do this without the support of our corporate partners.
Yes.
Devon Liebert, Fionn Jones. See you at the Mango Festival. When again? This
Mango
weekend?
Festival is this weekend, Friday, the 30th of June to the 2nd of July. And given that we are happy today, we're in the giving spirit, we have a $75 ticket giveaway. We want you to give away Webbo when you get the chance to.
Oh, really?
Lucky person. Yes, $75 that we give you 10 samples for the Sunday event for the Love of Mango Festival.
You don't want to give it away now? You want me to do it another time?
Devon, what say you?
I mean, what is it? You have one ticket?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll give it away in the morning. Then.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Good. Yes.
It's so good. It's so good to have. By the way, I just was sort of curious. Do they have mango wine? You ever heard of that?
Yes, I've seen. Yeah, we've had mango wine, and there's some folks in Nevis who does that.
Because I know a lot of people make wine from fruits.
Yes. Yes. I've never had the mango wine. I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah, maybe you need to try it.
Okay, I'll meet you there, Webbo.
It's good to have you, Devon and Fionn of the Nevis Tourism Authority, and make sure that you check it out this weekend. The ticket that they've given me, well, you have it with you, right?
We don't have it.
But that's the problem I have. I don't like to give it with things that I don't have. So when can you get it?
You're going to get it in the morning, Webbo. It's me, Webbo. Come on now, Webbo.
That's why. They always tell me that it's me. Okay, so I can give it away in the morning.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And we get a break, and then we'll be back with our second segment. This is Thought That Get Results.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Plot for sale. Plot for sale. There is a 10,890 square foot lot of land east of the Mundo Track at Low Ground for sale. For serious inquiries, please call Mr. Edric Stanley at 869-665-5634 or 869-469-3868.
Builders Paradise is offering a large variety of floor and wall tiles at very competitive prices. Builders Paradise has over 2 million pieces in stock, lots of different styles to choose from. Whether you're renovating or tiling a new house, Builders Paradise has what you need. Wow! Oh, and remember, we're open all day Saturday to serve you better. This is something that you can't refuse. Visit Builders Paradise today at the C.A. Paul Southwell Industrial Site in St. Kitts or call them at 466-4938.
With all the power from the tower, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, VON Radio, from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Back in this episode of Thought That Get Results with our second segment. Our first segment featured the Fionn Jones and Devon Liebert of the Nevis Tourism Authority, and speaking about the Mango Festival that's coming up this weekend. Now they have left permission for me to, on behalf of the Nevis Tourism Authority, send 2 people for free to that festival, but we'll work with that tomorrow. The second segment, Conrad Naya Liebert, good evening.
Good evening, Webbo. Good evening to the listening public, those who are in tune to us by the various means. I welcome you to this second part of this program. Webbo, it's always a pleasure to come over here and involve in a conversation that affects dealing with the issues that affects the life of the people here in the Federation and regionally and sometimes internationally, Webbo. I just want to thank you once again for having me this evening, and I look forward to engage with Mr. Stanley and have a good conversation tonight.
Edric W. Stanley, good evening.
Good evening, Webbo, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Good evening to the people of St. Kitts and the gracious people of Nevis, and those who are listening to us on the World Wide Web through the Facebook, YouTube, as the case might be. Viewing and listening audiences. Again, those who listen through the World Wide Web, we're here, hopefully, to disseminate information that are pertinent to your guidance upward and onward, and for us to make a better society in this area where we live that we call home. St. Kitts and Nevis is the best place on earth to be. A little turbulence here and there once in a while, but we have no snow, and although there is a heat wave in the United States and in China, we still have good weather and we're able to function. So we invite all people from around the globe to visit, even come and have an extended stay in St. Kitts and Nevis. Webbo, this evening, of course, is a pleasure for being here. You had the two guests on, and they spoke of Amripali. The best mango you could get, in my view. In the last segment they mentioned Julie, the grafted mango. The best mango you could eat. Once it is hand-picked and left to be ripened, it is the best mango you could get. At the same time, I understood that there is a lady who they may have invited you ever to meet, come and meet, by the name of Julie. We used to mention Guli mango, and you could see a grafted mango in the tree, and once it's up a lark, where it is not a low-hanging fruit, it would stay up there and ripen to the point where it becomes guli. And I do not know if that's where they got the name Julie from. At the same time, Webbo, I hope you go and see the person who they call Julie Mango. Anyhow, based on how things are, they mentioned wine, mango wine, and I was told you can really make wine from water and stone. So you could make wine from a lot of different fruits. So I hope that they would have a lot of things coming, a lot of products coming from the mango, since it is the mango festival, and they have to reach out to certain people as to how to get additional products out of the mango. Mango has always been one of our best eating fruits. So I give a lot of kudos, congratulations to the Tourism Authority with reference to the Mango Festival. And I hope we get people from far and wide, China, Ethiopia, Australia, Britain, global. I hope that we will have given or disseminated information about our Mango Festival, and it would have reached the people throughout the globe, and hence we should have a good cadre of people coming to our shores for this Mango Festival.
Yes, I think it's a good idea. It's almost 10 years now that we've been having the Mango Festival. It's a great idea that we decide to use something we have in abundance and make something good out of it. Too often we always fantasize and we ask, I mean, what we do with all these mangoes, and some may say we can can them, we can put them in the refrigerator for a while or whatever. But I think the Mango Festival is a great idea, and I think it's growing in its importance to the island as a tourism attraction, and I can see where it can really go much further, where you find people who have interest in making various dishes from it, and I'm sure and international chefs are coming by, and they will always come with a different mix as opposed to what we know and what we can do with the mangoes. It is a good thing. It is a good thing. It's just for the people to look forward to it, as we look forward to many annual events, even Culturama, that we can put some, some more interest towards local interest towards the Mango Festival. People going out there, and I'm sure Von Radio will do its part in terms of promoting the event. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We are doing something with what we have, and I think it's a level of creativity that must be respected and advanced going forward. Maybe with not just mangoes, but yes, mango is the fruit we have in abundance, and mango is. It's been said it's the world's best fruit, and we have a lot of it. We have a lot of it on this little island. But I realized this year the mango have been a bit small, starved by not getting sufficient rain. I myself have a mango tree, which the mangoes are so small this year. So we hope to get some rain, and we hope to have that bumper crop that we anticipated, because this year, and I sure most people would agree with me if they were looking at the mango trees, the blossom was so much this year, and unfortunately the rain didn't come down, and so the mangoes became small, and a lot, a great number of mangoes fell from the tree without reaching that level of maturity. But that's nature. But we can still have a successful mango festival. We are still anticipating that later in the year, closer to Culturama, we'll have an abundance of mango here on Ireland as usual, and the Kitchens look forward to that when they come over. We here look forward to that too. But also recently we've been hearing a lot about the diabetes thing here in Ireland and in and around us, and they say one of the contributing factor is the fact that we eat so much mangoes. And just the other day somebody was telling me how much mango a person should eat per day, and how much mango a diabetic, a person who's suffering from diabetes, should eat per day. And so, well, it's a consideration, because we know we are affected by that lifestyle illness. And I'm wondering if Mr. Stanley, you have input on that matter?
Well, basically, you have to know what you're eating. And if you eat them when they're fully ripened, you're going to increase your sugar intake. Because as time passes, the sun comes out, and the mango needs the sun for ripening. Therefore, what you need to do, if you suffer from diabetes, to eat the half-ripe mango, which would not be fully sugarized, for the want of a better word. At the same time, if you are able to curtail the type of mango, I do not know if you know the various types of mangoes. You got round ball.
Yes, I know.
You got Joe Payne. You got Bridger syrup. And so many other mangoes. You got teeny mangoes. Mm-hmm. They come tiny and teeny, meaning there are so many mangoes, and I hope they would have a vast variety of mangoes to demonstrate to those who are coming to be participants in our mango festival, for them to see the variety of mangoes we have. And in that regard, allow them to take some back, because again, mango is the best fruit in my view. Pineapple tastes good, But again, sugarcane tastes good. Again, we go forward. Whatever fruit that is sugarized, for want of a better word, has its properties, and as a result, it would contribute to diabetes problem in terms of your sugar intake. So, like I said, they can be eaten green.
Yeah.
They could be cooked green. Of course, it would be fascinating to go to one of these stores, as Fiance would have said, to try some of the recipes as to how the culinary artists, within their own creativity, would have put something together with ripe mangoes, with half-ripe mangoes, with green mangoes, because I guarantee you, if you eat it green, it becomes a vegetable, rather than eating it ripened. So there's plenty of avenues based on our creativity that we can expand the Mango Festival as a Nevision brand to lure additional peoples coming to our shores, just not only to try our samples, but also to see the great country, the tranquil country of St. Kitts and Nevis. And we hope that as they come into St. Kitts, our Kittitian brothers and sisters will bring them over to be part of our Mango Festival. And this, again, should be expanded to involve a lot of other fruits. All right?
Yes, I agree. I think there are great dimension and degrees when it comes to even knowledge about the mangoes, because if you know certain villages produce a certain type of mangoes too, predominantly, like for instance in Coal Hill, they find your pain.
Okay.
And that mango is not well loved.
Right. It's lumpy.
It's lumpy and all kind of things happen to dropping. But in Coal Hill, trust me, that's where you find a lot of dropping tree. And I don't know why. I used to be in Coal Hill as a kid growing up, spending my summer holidays and sometimes in Cotton Ground as well. Cotton Ground have its own. You find a lot of round ball in Cotton Ground and teeny mangoes.
Long mango.
Yeah, and in Hamilton, what do you find? A lot of pally. What we used to call wad. No, not Emery Pally, wad pally.
I don't know how Emery Pally.
I don't know where the Emery just shot from.
Got into this thing here and trying to unseat the Julie mango or grafted mango.
Yeah, it's true, because wad pally, we know when we used to walk all the way to Hamilton up there, and it's just a lot of what we call wad pally, and big and nice and sweet.
Not only wad, it would be at Hamilton. My grandmother and grandfather had 3.5 acres at the Lower Hamilton, and that area was off with pally mangoes.
Yeah.
Upper Hamilton, where we still have land from our grandmother, and the trees are dying out. They've lack of cleaning, land cleaning and air and whatever as the case might be. The trees are dying out. So as a result, we have to find a way, based on now that we've got a product or products coming from the mango, we should attempt to look for these areas and try to rehabilitate these trees and to see and compare the Armory Parley with the old Parley, because
Yeah.
the old Parley
There's a
is
big competition there.
Yeah.
Big competition.
old Parleys.
Big competition, yeah.
I enjoyed eating mangoes. I mean, we grew up on mangoes, all right? When the best thing could happen is when we hear a storm coming, because we don't have to climb the trees, and the mangoes would be brought to the ground simply by the
Wind.
wind, and we would go to Hamilton, Upper Hamilton, Lower Hamilton, and we would pick up buckets of mangoes, both places.
Yeah.
We bring them home, even some that are brought to the ground by the weather, the inclement weather. And to be honest, as a kid, I always liked when we had inclement weather. All right, it gives an opportunity for us to get wet.
Yes.
So, based on that, it is still fun to be a kid. All right. Sometimes I ask the master, give me another chance, make me into a kid again, because it was just a lot of fun.
It would soon come. Once a man, twice a child.
No, not in that regard.
But yes, lots of dimensions. You know, the previous guest spoke about stoning mangoes. I was never a climber. 'Cause I broke my hand from climbing when I was about 12, so I was warned not to climb. So I was never a climber, but I used to stone mangoes, seriously. All those mangoes trees you see on Pump Road next to the water department, I live on those trees, but I never climbed one. Always just stoning mangoes, and I became so good at it, to be quite honest, you know. And even people from the high school used to come up to raid those trees. And the owners, the apparent owners of those, the caretakers of those trees, they used to be so protective to those mangoes. And when you see the trees today still big, blooming, but they're gone. So sometimes people got to be a little more on the back seat in terms of sharing things like mangoes, because you will leave them behind, you leave the trees behind. It's a good gesture too. Why not? I mean, people don't give away mangoes easily these days for some reason, because we are dealing with an influx of people who are traders in mangoes. So a lot of people pick mangoes in Nevis, still and go to St. Kitts with mangoes. I remember the days when Nevis used to be, I mean, the boats, the sailing boats, Sakara, Valiant, Princess, used to be so loaded with fruits and mangoes going over to St. Kitts. Mangoes still go to St. Kitts in great numbers, but there was a time when Nevis was seriously the fruit basket. You know, and we have lost a lot of fruits. Fruits like guavas and so seems to have disappeared because, again, lack of care, and of course they have been affected by diseases which probably was not prioritized by the Department of Agriculture in those days. But I think we have lost a lot of food throughout over the years. I think there's less fruits now, and we're dealing with the monkey situation, and so we also lose a lot of mangoes to the monkey situation. But I think it's time again for us to look inward and capitalize on the fruits and protect them. It's a great gesture that the government is doing down at Indian Castle, and I hope that comes to fruition, and we all can benefit. And not just that, I think people should engage. I myself need to do that as well, in more planting and protection of fruit trees around here, because we see what's happening. We see we got to wait for the containers. We see the grapes that we are getting. We see the pears that we are getting, and they're simply not as healthy as our local fruits at all. And they cost a big money too. So I suppose, and it's one thing, put back the seed in the earth. Put back the seed in the earth, you know, and don't put it in the garbage bin and throw it in the garbage. Everyone is have Nevis replenish itself, or we we can have sufficient food. Food security involves food security as well, you know. And food to me is one of the healthier things one can be eating. And we just need to know now, as the information is getting around, that excess mango can lead to excess sugar in the blood, and that becomes problematic. And of course, with such knowledge, we can do better for ourselves and for our country.
Well, like I said, there was a granny mango.
Huh?
A granny mango, and I've never seen that tree, which was just below us at church ground. Never seen another tree like that. People used to come from all over just to get a granny mango.
Yeah, they are very special mangoes.
Special mango.
They are very special mangoes.
Yes.
That they are. You just find one or two trees, and I know where they are fruit. A few too. Trust me.
It was like in Sapodilla.
Yeah, that's another fruit we used to have and completely disappeared.
Right.
But we never used to know that it was edible. There was one at the bottom of Government Road there, and we never knew it was edible. But one of my friends, who was really, he came up pretty rough, and only, not quite recently, but only when we have become adult, he tell me now things was so rough with me that we used to eat that thing there, and only now we realize it was sapodilla.
Well, there was one tree that was in an area just below my gas station on the other side. This planter, who had this big house just on the other side.
The wood house?
No, it is a two-story. It was a two-story. Well, the top has somewhat deteriorated,
Yeah.
but the walls downstairs are
Yes.
20 inches thick, stone. And that was a big house. But in back of that house, in the yard, there was a sapodilla tree. And I enjoyed sapodilla for a long time from that tree. It died. And there's another fruit that we used to call, it's from the gold family. I'm trying to think of the name. But this lady was from Dominica, and I believe the sapodilla came from Dominica. English almond. You ever seen an English almond?
No.
It's a big fruit. But some of these trees have died out, and sadly, we have to bring about a conservation measure through our Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, because dates, we used to have dates in Nevis. I used to pick dates. You know what's dates?
No.
They bear in a kind of palm tree. Looks like a palm tree. And it's some yellow little thing. And usually people use them because they have a high sugar content. They dry them, and you find them in the stores now because we import them from foreign. Dates, they grow on a tree that looks like a palm tree. There used to be one to the back of the RBTT Bank, right between the Mission Church and the RBTT Bank as a kid going to school. And we used to go there and pick dates. And I think there's still one in Church Ground in an expat home. I think he was an architect that used to live in Church Ground that plants a lot of palm trees and stuff. But dates we used to have. It's very, very special to Nevis because you could have counted them on one hand how much date trees are in Nevis, and also we used to have something like sweet orange. You know we have sour orange. We used to have an indigenous orange that used to be sweet, and I know there's still one in Banzgat. And it used to be owned by some friends of mine, white folks. They kind of grow old now, and somebody has bought the property. But an orange tree that is sweet orange, local, and it still exists. And that's the only one I know remain. But they used to have a few around.
Well,
and what you have just said is very important, Mr. Stanley, in terms of keeping certain things which is quite rare amongst us. But I guess we are now striking that place where we have ought to be long time. We are supposed to be long time, but we are now. I think the Ministry of Agriculture are doing more searching and preserving of. I think they have quite interesting people working for the ministry now, and they tend to have a buzz on innovation of innovating a lot of methods and theories. So I have my expectation in agriculture here is pretty high. It's pretty high because I know a few people who just they're excited about it, and they want to make a mark. They want to have an impact. And as we're seeing down on New River, that type of stuff excites me, to be quite honest.
Well, the thing is that based on how things occurred over the many years, things grew naturally. I mean, we would have had to have animal manure as fertilizer, which is a rotating aspect or activity. Because as a kid, I had to go to help people to carry dung, meaning the the manure.
No, yeah.
From the animal.
The animal's pen, yeah.
Yeah.
And the goat pen.
So.
Good evening. Thank you for holding. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to all.
Good evening.
Now, what has become of Shaddock?
True.
Shaddock is still around, but there might be very, 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 very few.
Yeah, I mean,
where
I used to look forward to Shaddock from Nevis.
Yeah, but just hold caller. Where's the Shaddock, Stanley?
I think there's a tree right.
It's a grafted fruit, right?
Yeah, go ahead, caller.
Now, it's also what happened to Shaddock.
Shaddock.
You don't see much of it.
Well, based on our conversation just for the past half an hour, the trees are dying out, but we have to make a concerted effort through the Department of Agriculture, and I was just beginning to come up with
And long mango, I used to like Nevis long mango, long salt, whatever you call them. You call them
long mango.
Still
yeah, man.
Yes.
You could have one day in your mouth for a long time. I mean, the fibers, eh?
Yeah.
What happened? They phased them out?
Well, many of the trees died out, but there are a few long mango trees that are still around.
Because people, everything here, Amory poly.
There's a lot of long
but
mango.
they're so expensive.
Well,
I mean, you could get twice as much of the long mango for the Amory poly. You see your money?
there is a tree right in front on the opposite side of where I live, a church ground. And that
Let me ask you another thing before I hang up. How you all manage to get those kind of guineas?
Well,
Nevis guineas kind of, they have the kind of flesh on them. You seldom find them in St. Kitts.
well,
I always wonder, how come we have so many different varieties between St. Kitts and Nevis?
I have a tree that is very famous, and people would
I'll
come
hang up
in,
my phone and listen on the radio.
people would come into my yard and would buy the entire tree off me. They would pay me X number of dollars. I would be generous. And it's just yesterday, a fellow came and brought me a lock of guinea. So I told him, all I need is one. So he said to me, Stanley, these guinea are going to be ripened in the next few weeks. So he asked me if he could buy the tree, because people do come.
What you told him?
Yes, I told him yes.
Okay.
But
well,
people do come.
Work with me. If he needs another 2 trees to buy, I have 2 that I can sell.
Good.
So you could send them over to me in case anything. And I'm serious. I got about 2 trees to sell, and great. Tastes better than yours.
No.
Oh, well,
I challenge you.
Tastes almost as good as yours.
Okay, Webbo. Go ahead.
No, I'm finished. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that it tastes almost as good as
Okay,
yours,
well-
but I have 2 trees to sell, the whole tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've said,
Also, the lady asked about the shaddock. You said shaddock was still around, so I was asking you where are they? Or that
Again-
was just an academic answer.
no, the person from whom I bought where the gas station is was a farmer, and he gained notoriety over a number of years, and therefore he was passionate with regard to fruits or fruit trees.
Yeah, but the question was whether shaddock was still around, and you said yes. So I'm asking you where are they?
Boy.
Because I would like to see them as well.
Well, the shaddock tree is just like an orange tree. It's the family to an orange tree. So I know that bittersweet, orange, shaddock, they
Yeah.
are of the same family.
Yeah, but
And
the question, work with me. The question is not whether they are families to orange and bittersweet and so on. Where are the shaddock trees that you say are still around?
I am almost certain that you will find a tree right across from me at church ground.
Okay, one is across from you.
Yes.
You mean where your gas station is?
Yes, right.
On the other side of the road?
Yes.
So if I were to drive up there tomorrow, and look on the and you know, there I would see a shaddock tree.
It is very likely, Webbo. I mean,
You're not, work with me, you're not sure.
I'm not 100% certain.
But maybe I would see one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But for you to,
So it is fair then to conclude that when you said that the shaddock trees were still around, you were really not sure.
I
You
don't,
just feel so.
well, I just feel so.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Right. Oh.
I don't really want to leave it at that either, you know, because because these are fruits that we grew up on,
Yeah.
and people don't allow them just to die and go out of existence. Some people plant seeds to ensure that there is continuity of this particular fruit. And in this regard, I'm saying the lady asked about long mango and sugar apple, pear, avocado, which only since I went away I knew they call them avocado. But Teacher Ivor, the late Teacher Ivor, the greatest teacher ever lived, used to come there just to get a pear from that particular tree. But I had to destroy the tree simply because of the termites.
Yeah. We
Termites.
used to have so much avocado. I could remember my dad used to load up his boats. I mean, load up his boats, so much avocado, and go to St. Martin. The boat may have on a lot of avocados, a lot of mangoes, and he goes to St. Martin, you know. But we forget tangerine also. You see, the citrus, somehow the citrus, you know, get a huge, I mean, something happened to the citrus on island, in a general sense. The shaddock, the tangerine, and we can't get orange grow for some reason. There's something, I don't know if it's our soil we have here or what. But the caller asks a serious question, why, you know, fruits, and she made reference to the guineps. But if you look at the soil in St. Kitts, it's completely different to the soil in Nevis also. You know, completely different, and we are so close. Yeah, but don't talk about the guineps, man. You know, we are
We have a great variety of guineps in
we are
Nevis.
blessed with the guineps, you know.
Based on
Could
that,
have the sweetest, I think.
no, based on the fact that you have eaten the guinea, it is so tasty.
Yeah.
based on the flesh and whatever the case might be, the texture. Kitchens should have planted a seed or two and to nurture it, because even though Sinkit has a sandy soil, it doesn't mean that you couldn't manipulate the soil. Manipulate the soil to the degree where you can get something to grow in that soil.
But they could not have, because most of the land was under sugar.
Well,
The accessible land was under sugar, cane. And I think that's where I think Nevis got the upper hand in the mid 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We became very fruit-wise over here, and Sinkits didn't have that kind of fruit population. And things have changed a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot.
quite dramatically.
Dramatically.
Because we used to be the breadbasket for St. Kitts.
Mansi Port and these kind of
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Eventually-
I see Mansi Port now coming from Dominica, and it's like
That's another
very
fruit.
special fruits.
There's another fruit that
Yeah.
this lady, who was a Dominican,
Yeah.
remember I told you the English almond and the sapodilla, and there was another mansiport tree right on the property there, just below my gas station, on the opposite side. But her husband was a merchant marine, and based on the fact that he has traveled throughout the Caribbean, he would have brought back different types of fruits or fruit trees. So where we are with
There's still a lot of Mansi Port trees, I must say, in Rollins.
Well-
There's still a lot, but the monkeys enjoy them, man.
people should plant a seed.
But that's it.
But if they just willy-nilly sow the seed,
In the garbage. You got to throw the seed back to the earth.
yeah,
You got to.
anyhow.
Because most of the fruit trees I have in my yard, I never set out to plant no fruit trees. I just eat kinnips and throw the seed over there. Eat mangoes. Next thing is so much mango trees that come around the shop. And yes, it's about throwing back the seed
Sugar apple,
to the earth.
I mean, I just this afternoon drove around my yard, and there's a sugar apple in a certain area that I just hate to destroy it. I haven't destroyed it yet because I have a feeling a building would be put right where a sugar apple is, sugar apple tree, and I murmured about it. Of course, I haven't really taken any action on that. So, and it is getting to be very, very high, big. There are several apple trees on that same land where I am, simply because, again, I mentioned this man from whom I bought the land was a farmer, and guava, people come in and just pick sugar apple.
I mean, the whole of Ramsberry used to be sugar apple. We used to have so much what we used to call ghouls.
Well,
We go out there and we got like 5 ghouls, each of them having 50 apples.
that was one of the best pastimes.
Yeah, and when
We
time
are
comes to
children.
ripe,
Hmm?
it's fun.
When you're checking your booth
Yeah.
to make sure that you put in enough land grass and so
Yeah,
on.
man. It's fun.
It used to be a lot of fun.
Gone are those days, Mr. Stanley, where the kids now spend most of the time on their device and they don't roam around no more and
Lazy.
eat the fresh fruits of the land.
Lazy.
And I guess we are probably seeing the effect of that elsewhere. Later on in life, I suppose. Obesity, lifestyle illness come upon them. And it's a reality we have to deal with. We are dealing with, in a sense. We can't get the kids out to play anymore, or to even go hunting for fruits. We used to call it hunting for fruits, you know. And
So what's up?
again, with the development of the island, you know, a lot of these fruits paradise have been taken over by homes, because Ramsbury was a big fruit paradise for us. Talking about tangerine and sugar apple.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for holding.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Herbert.
Yes. Good evening.
Yes. I think in here about the custard apple,
Yeah.
the maca, and the fat pork. Those are fruits that we used to enjoy when we was young too.
Pomegranate.
All kind of fruits.
The
But you know, you guys,
the maca caller, that's still around?
Yeah. Yes.
I believe there's a few
Yes.
still, but
Yes.
I see a few trees, but you know they don't produce the way they used to, because people are not cleaning out between the trees and so on anymore.
Yes.
So that is a problem.
Yes.
Yeah, but also, you know, this is for agriculture department, because we are talking about the monkeys, but I have a very large Amripali mango tree in Bath village there. And man, if I tell you, the bats are doing me worse than even the monkeys there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but the bats would leave all the other mangoes, the mango trees, don't bother with them, and come and eat off all the Amripali mango. So perhaps if somebody from agriculture is hearing, I don't know if they can do something about that.
You know, it quite possible, even if not somebody from agriculture, somebody else might have a remedy for you, because, you know, some people have a lot of local remedies for a lot of issues. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But I tell you, if you run on a maca, maybe you can pick up one for me too. I like to even just, I remember that,
And most of these things you have to go in the Rollins area.
Oh really? I got a lot of friends in Rollins, so who knows? And the fat pork, maybe I might get some tomorrow.
The fat pork, we used to go Tapa Zeppelin over up on those hills, and lots of fat pork.
Chilies.
Yeah. Oh no, that's about the cheap. But I tell you,
Yeah.
I don't know. We say that we are advancing, and you can't deny that, but I just feel that in those days we used to eat better food.
Well, the Mako, I'm sending out an appeal. I'd like to hear Mako.
All right, that's
Okay.
super for you.
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Okay then.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we have to divert a little.
You don't hear me?
We are at a certain juncture, and fortunately, I understood.
Let me get this, Mr. Stanley. Good evening. Thank you for holding.
Hello.
Yes, you're on the air.
Good night.
Good
Good
evening.
night.
Those Amripalis that you all are talking about, I want to believe that they were named after the Amri family. I don't know if you know Mrs. Annette Amri, Mrs. Annette Manners.
Yes, we know her.
Okay. Her parents had those mangoes, and they are the first that I know to have Amripali in Nevis.
The first that you know.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a mango tree here, and it came from that home. So it could be that the name was given to the mango from the Amri.
Okay.
And how different, caller, how different is that Amripali from the old Pali that we knew? Which
Well-
came, sometimes they were large, quite large, depending on the breed or the way the tree grew.
Weather.
Well, it depends on the texture, because some of those same mangoes that you all call the bastard mango. They were very good, and you would still find some that is good.
Yes.
So therefore, this Amripali is just a bastard name that you, for the want of a better word.
They call it bastard because they feel like these may be bigger, they have a better taste or something. I don't know.
Well,
Most of them is good.
I have eaten Amripali, so-called Amripali, and I've eaten the long-time traditional pali. And if you were to eat it to the extent where you get down to the seed, the fiber on the seed is the same.
You're right.
So what is the difference between the Amripali? This, I don't think there is a difference, simply because somebody decided to do marketing.
No,
and based.
No, the shape, everything is different.
It's a smaller mango.
The Amripali has more round in it.
Okay, then just let me know. The caller, so you're finished?
Good night.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead.
No, the Amripali has more round in it than the original Pali. The original Pali has more a sharp face, put it that way. The Emery has more round in it, and it tastes different. The local Pali remain hard when it's ripe, and Emery as well. But the taste is different, and the shape is different. So you can't make no mistake with them in terms of looking at them physically. The shapes are different. And the taste is different. But somehow I think the Amripali is overrated, eh?
Well overrated. Well overrated. And
good evening, thank you for holding.
Good evening, sir. Off air, please.
Off air?
You're asking about maca tree.
Yes.
There's a big maca tree. Up to last year I was up there and I got some from right there in Papa Yard, where the red truck does park up and the truck going right on the hill there.
Mm-hmm.
Papa has a maca tree right there. Last year I was up there and I get quite a few from it.
Oh, really?
So check with Papa here.
Okay.
Right there, there is some church going where the red truck does park up.
Mm-hmm. So I could just go in and pick them? Or I have to
Well,
check?
I was up there last year around the same time.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you in the end of July and August.
Okay, so check.
Well,
Papa told you it was his?
There was quite,
It was Papa tree?
Well, I tried to Papa Yard because I can't know.
No, I just checking because Papa is my partner, so I will check with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know who's Papa?
Of course.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Good night.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Well, I would like to get an Amripali and a traditional Pali, because I do not want to believe what you're saying, Niall, in terms of the taste. I just
forget, man.
I just feel that somebody decided to do a marketing job
with the
Amripali, just like they did.
No, they're good.
They did with the cement and wood. There are houses in Guyana that are over 200 years old, and those wooden structures outlast brick and mortar structure. 50 years and you begin to get corroded steel, as the case might be.
Good evening, thank you for holding.
Yes, good evening, me again. I don't know if you discussed what I want to ask because I left the room and I just came back. I recall seeing jackfruit, star apple. Yeah, coming from Nevis.
That's beautiful.
I came across it in Jamaica.
Okay.
You know the kind I'm talking about?
Yes, well.
Is it still in Nevis?
Yes. I've seen some. Well, I said yes quickly. I do not know if it was
Now, what about
included.
nutmeg? I think I saw a nutmeg coming from Nevis too.
Nutmeg.
What about that?
I have never seen a nutmeg tree.
Yeah, we used to have nutmeg here. I don't know if we still have it.
I thought I saw.
Okay,
thought
all right, Webbo.
A website.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have nutmeg. I don't know if we still have it.
I was intrigued because the first time I saw nutmeg tree was in Grenada. And I actually thought they were guavas, you know. Okay. But I said these trees are tall like guinea pan mango tree. And then I saw some come from Nevis. And the star apple, I've never seen them in St. Kitts, but I used to buy them in Jamaica at the Papine Market. So I said, you know, I said, well, in terms of the islands, there seems to be a difference in the variety of the fruits.
The soil has something to do with it as well.
Oh, the soil?
We have
You
a
don't think it's
difference.
more than soil?
No, it can be more than that, but I'm saying that the soil also has, because different trees and
So you
fruits
think
grow.
the soil account for you all getting sweeter than ours and slippery and it?
No, I didn't say that. What I'm saying is that in terms
Let
of...
me hang up because I'm not hearing you so well.
Yeah, okay. Good evening. Okay, caller, please call back. I was just making the point that in some with some fruits and trees, because of the composition of the soil,
Yes.
they will fare better
Yes.
or worse. Good evening. Thank you for holding.
Good evening.
Yes, you're on the air.
Good evening.
About the nutmeg. We have nutmeg in Nevis
Mm-hmm.
up in the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the caller was just inquiring, and I told her that as far as I know, we used to grow nutmeg, and you're saying we still have, right?
Yes, we still have. I have one in my yard right now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you can send one for me tomorrow?
No, I don't have any tree.
Oh, you don't have no tree, but you have the nutmeg.
And they need company.
Oh,
And plant them
they need
out there.
they need company.
You have to plant them beside other trees.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that info.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, it's me again. Mr. Herbert,
Mm-hmm.
there's a marked difference between the Amripali and the regular Pali mango tree. Pali mango. Number one, let me ask this question. If I take any regular Pali, some regular Pali mango, and some Amripali mangoes and set them down before you, would you be able to distinguish between them?
Me personally?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Everybody in Nevis would be able to.
No,
if you see a regular Pali mango and you see an Amripali, number one, generally the Amripali mango, its skin is more dark green. But I don't know anybody in Nevis who would see a regular Pali mango and see an Amripali mango and don't know the difference.
But to be fair, caller, Mr. Stanley said he doesn't know. If a man says he doesn't know it.
Yeah, well, I'm not really so much talking about Mr. Stanley. I'm just trying to say.
Generally speaking.
Yeah.
The difference is.
So,
okay.
I know different types of regular Pali mango. You have some of them. They grow very hard and sweet. Hard. And then you have some other types, they're not as hard. The flesh is not as hard.
True.
But also the regular Pali mango, right? The Amripali, there are some of them again, right? That don't have as much fiber as some. So that you would even hear some people say, the Amripali mango sweet, but sometimes it leaves too much fiber between your teeth. But it seems to me like it depends on where it grows. And so you have some that don't carry as much fiber, and you have some that carry a lot of fiber. But I never hear anybody say they can distinguish between a regular Pali mango and an Amripali in terms of looking at it and also in terms of eating it. It's a complete different mango. All right, good night.
Good night.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Stanley, you're not from Nevis?
Well, what I'm saying is that there might have been some genetic engineering from the armories that caused them to have marketed.
Good evening, thank you for holding. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hello, good evening. Nutmeg Chief just up Rollins there.
Yeah.
Right, where Annette Morton lives, on the next side right there. They have nutmeg right there.
Oh, really?
Well, that's good.
Okay, all right, thank you for
So
that info.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to hear.
Yes.
It's good to hear. But people should plant more of these things. Every day people buy nutmeg in the supermarket from all over the place. Grenada and so forth. I mean,
The thing is that it means that our agricultural department has a lot of work to do with reference to
preserving.
revitalizing.
Good evening, thank you for holding.
Hello?
Good evening, you're on the air.
Hello?
Good evening, you're on the air.
Yeah, just to back up now.
You want to, hello, you want to turn your radio down, please, or move away from it?
Mr. Stanley, the Armory Pally has a much flavory, sweet taste. You hear my brother? And there's a difference between them. I have 3 of them in my yard, and a few times I went to St. Kitts. And by the time I hit the pier, put the boxes, the St. Kitts folks start rushing. Boy, when you got the name brand, they give them the name brand and all, Mr. Stanley. So there's a difference in taste in the Armory Pally than the regular normal Pally. And so
I must admit that I have bias.
someone mentioned about the fat pork and they mentioned the sugar apple and that, but the what the other apple tree name? Custard apple. I have one right in my yard right now, full of blossom. It blossomed last year and I got one. One stayed, huh? And man, when I was growing up, man, we enjoyed those things, fat pork, grape. I mean, those were satisfactory. That's why really older people going to live long, because we live on fruit. So Mr. Stanley, I just want to say that, you know, the Armory Pally is different. The Armory Pally, because any person that got mango from my yard, you know, they say to me, Mr. Woolard, you throw sugar to these root? No, I don't say any sugar to the root. You know. But that's how it is. That's how it is. I love my fruit. I love my fruit, my papaya, everything. I eat everything. Sugar apple. When I came here to live for, there were some trees outside me there right here in Raspberry. And man, sometimes we eat those for breakfast, for supper. Sugar apple, we eat like mad. Anyway, good program. That's how people might know. Oh, the what you call it, you know, the one day. With they have a tree up Hermitage Road there, you know, oh boy, we don't need so much of those things. You know. Anyway. Let's go.
All right, thank you.
Good program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe I like the Julie mango so much that I have a bias. At the same time, Mr. Woolard, maybe you can bring me a couple of Armory Pally when you get the opportunity, or I can stop by at some point in time. Give me a call. I'll stop by when your tree is in harvest, at harvest time, so I could get an appreciation of the Armory Pally. But at the same time, I have categorized the Julie mango, in my view, as the best eating mango that anyone could ever eat.
That's what we call grafted mango.
Grafted mango. Once it is handpicked and it is well ripened.
Yeah, they're top ranking. They are top ranking, but I don't think they are at the top of the ranks. But they're top ranking. You know, my favorite mango is the round ball, eh? People might laugh now. Round ball, yes. If you get a good round ball mango before it drop, don't let it drop. If it drop, it's no good, right? With the right weather, it's quite tasty. A little tready, but round ball can carry good vibes.
I have eaten round ball because I grew up on an estate, practically on an estate. The nano and the round ball were about the same size. The nano mango, at the same time, based on the texture, they're almost the same. You go across bridges, you gotta, just as you get out of the gut by the basketball court, but that tree died out. You had another mango tree right there too. Both of them were there. Anyhow, we have had a lot of fun as kids.
Can't beat that.
Children growing up in Nevis. Nevis is one of the best places
in the world, actually.
Yeah.
In the world.
Plums.
I'm happy to be. And I used to go to a school where there were lots of fruits. It's my first school, private school. And one of the beautiful things about the school is we used to have to line up as children, and the headmaster would cut us a slice of mango, right? I mean, every time I reflect on that, it's just so beautiful, man, you know. And plum, you had plums in the yard too.
English?
Plums, regular red plum, you understand?
Yeah, well, there's two types of plums, you know.
I know. These were the rough ones.
Yeah.
You know, they got the smooth ones, which are nicer, I think, I suppose. And we used to line up, and we used to get our plums from the headmaster, with the mistress, Miss Flearty. It was so beautiful. And then we used to have to go to search for the eggs too. You know, the 4 leather eggs all under the floor. We had to go looking for the eggs, and it's quite a beautiful school. Growing up here is just amazingly nice. I thought, you know. All my friends like to hear me, talk about my childhood days, you know, growing up. People who grew up in England and elsewhere, they just, you know, fantasize about, you know, the things I tell them, the experience that we had.
Quite different.
Yeah, quite different, and quite nice, quite fulfilling, you know. That was that. What's going on in the Federation, Mr. Stanley, or globally? What's going on in the Ukraine?
Well,
and Putin, what's happening? You may understand it a lot more than I do, because
I wanted to talk about Social Security.
Okay, go ahead.
I understood that the Prime Minister has made a tranche in terms of all receiving a second Social Security check from the Citizen by Investment Program.
Yeah.
And I hope, based on that it will be a regular, simply because the people who come and buy our passport is not really the passport they're buying. They have to invest the money into a property, as the case might be. So they are taking our land, and it's only right, fair and proper for us to get a certain amount from that CBI.
Direct injection from it. So we're not waiting for no trickling down nothing.
And it's today I learned. I harangued the Social Security organization because I've always had some difficulty with them. maybe I shouldn't put it that way, but I had to go to Social Security Department.
Good evening, thank you for holding.
Hello?
Good evening, you're on the air.
Yeah, Webbo, you know, now I was just talking about the way how we grew up, right?
You
Yeah,
want
let
to
me turn
talk?
on this radio. Yeah. And you know, one of the things that I find right is that because of the way we grew up here in St. Kitts Nevis in particular, because that is where I grew up, it caused us to be very resourceful. And I notice even I go to the United States, and wherever our people go, they're very resourceful. They know how to take what they have and make the best of it. And I find that I live in New York for some years. I live in St. Thomas, and I notice that the people who are born here, they're not as resourceful because they grew up under different circumstances, and they don't know how to take the things that they have and make the best use of it the way we do. And so you find in the United States, most Nevisians and Kittitians do well because of this, how we grew up. I don't know if you guys catch what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But now I was alluding to it, and it's true. Anyway, good night.
Okay, thank you.
You have to do a survey to make a determination as to the number of Nevisians who are doing well and those who are not doing so well. And then you can come up with your own conclusion as to where they are. Because there are certain people who are from Nevis, went to the United States, the Virgin Islands, as the case might be, and they're still having difficulty. They have not caught on because, for whatever reason, some have, most have, but those who have not, why haven't they? Simply because they may have had a change of culture. They didn't adapt as they were supposed to, and consequently they have fallen behind. Now, I just don't understand why some people fall behind. Simply, is it the lack of education? Lack of getting their hands on what they're supposed to and do what they're supposed to? Because I'll tell you, I went there at age 19 and I never looked back. And whatever I try to do, I try to do it to the best of my ability. And that's why I am where I am.
Yeah, but ambitiousness is ambitiousness. You know, when you're ambitious, you're ambitious. If you're in Nevis and you're ambitious, you will do good. If you're in New York or St. Christ and you're ambitious,
Well,
you will do good.
How come
Okay?
right now?
But, I mean, if you're lazy in Nevis, you go to New York, you're still lazy. You know? It's about that thing that you have. You know, it comes with discipline. If you're undisciplined here, you're undisciplined there. If you're not that person who is going to work hard and be disciplined, and that you're bent on success, you would not achieve it there. So I just tell people, look, if you're staying in Nevis, you do good because you went to America and you do good. It's not where you are, but it's who you are in the scheme of things.
You have to have a plan and work toward your goals. You may not achieve all you want to achieve, but if you have a plan and you work toward that plan, you will achieve.
Yeah, I've seen people change. I've seen people who have lived in Nevis and didn't find it necessary to work very hard, and they hit the US, and it seems like they're making up for the time that they didn't work, and they have turned out to be successful because they go to the US and they see the opportunities are here and so forth, and they want to change their personal state of affair, you know, and they've got that done pretty, not easy, but they're successful, you know.
In the United States are boundless. Opportunities to go to school, to get into business, get into sports.
Yeah, anything.
And once you are disciplined, that's the word, you will be successful.
But you know, you have some people leave Nevis, they go to the US, in 6 weeks' time they don't get a green card. Some people up to 30-something years are not got a green card yet.
No, that's a different matter.
It's not really a different matter.
Well, you can, there's a legal way of getting a green card. And there's another, because you can marry a U.S. citizen and get a green card based on how you see things.
Well, a green card is a green card, and if you're going to move to the U.S., you will need some legality. I'm saying it's all a part of you hope you got that a part of your plan. Otherwise, you're not going to remain in the U.S. for 30 years illegally and think you're going to make any great headway. So a part of your
you'll be surprised.
A part of your plan should really be to have a legal status.
Right. It helps.
And show you know.
It helps. But at the same time, if you have a plan, and the plan is to be successful, to get educated, as the case might be, and be disciplined to make a decent living, and you don't want to be to fall within the cracks, with or without a green card. There are people who are still up there without a green card and
illegally,
they're making money hand over fist, and they've figured out a way of avoiding the authorities, State Department people, as the case might be, and as a result, they continue to make their money. They operate under the radar. All right. So, based on how you got your plan organized, you can go to the States.
Good evening. Thank you for holding.
Good evening, Webbo.
Yes.
Very good program. I listen to this radio station day and night. I live in New York, and somehow I got it hooked up to my car, so whenever I drive in, I listen to everything. Very good program. And it's about the mangoes, right? Now make a lot of sense with what I say. There are a lot of people living in New York, and they will say, oh, I'm not buying a mango for $2, I'm not buying a mango for $3. But still, when you go out and buy a handful of mango, they want to be the first to eat. So that's the problem we got here. Just like home. Some people here trying to live above the means. They hang there where they can't reach. That's why I like to listen to your program, because your program, it make a lot of sense. And that's why a lot of people don't agree with you, with what you say sometimes, but you make a lot of sense. The program that you have on this radio station for 35 years. Make a lot of sense. Mr. Stanley went away for a while, so Mr. Stanley missed a lot in Nevis. They got a mango they call sardine mango. It's not very popular. The brother just called it a while ago talking about the mangoes and stuff. I know him very well, we go together. And they had a couple of mango trees over there, they call a place they call garden. And they had all kind of different mango trees over there. They had a mango that like the warm ball mango, they call full belly mango. When you eat the mango, you only go eat one. You really pull you up. And the mango tree, I know where Francis had the house up there, the grandfather used to own the land, and he used to get a mango tree up there by Francis' house. I don't know if they cut it down or they get rid of it or what. I've been basically all over Nevis. I walk from Jetland to Barnes, but up in the hills. So I've been a lot of places over Nevis. So and all that. But it's a real good program. Keep it up.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, man.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, so basically, people who are focused, if you're off course, you operate at your own peril.
Yeah.
But if you're focused, you know what you want, and you go after what you want
Yes.
with the help of the Master, you will be successful. Whatever that may mean, it is subjective. Successful is a subjective word. Person
Yes.
could just arrive at a certain level and they consider themselves to be successful.
You achieve a level of contentment, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you're from, where you're at, really, at times. Those qualities of success still have to be observed and be a part of you. And so I don't worry about what people may say sometimes as it relates to who is rich and who is poor, and who have been successful and who have not been successful. I think, as you said, Mr. Stanley, the word is subjective, and I think if we can do as much as you can, work hard, and you achieve a level of contentment, I suppose you can celebrate your life, as opposed to looking over the fence and formulate some kind of jealousy because you're now looking at how much material that one has as opposed to you, you know. But to find that middle ground of contentment, happiness, well, you know, that in itself is subjective. But the inner joy does not come from comparing yourself to another individual. It comes from working hard and achieving a level of contentment that you're happy with. What do you think?
Well, I agree completely. You work and you work with your goal, and when you achieve your goal, you move on to the next level, and you just set goals one after the other, and you try to accomplish or achieve them. And as you achieve each level of success, whatever that may mean,
you celebrate?
Well, you can celebrate. There are ways of celebrating.
Well, yeah, you feel good about yourself. That's celebrating.
I don't celebrate birthdays. I don't really have big parties. You understand? There are reasons for that. The people who come, they laugh with you, and when you look, the knife is in your back.
So you don't want to give them the drinks and the food.
So you don't have...
You don't want to give them any of your drinks and food and then a knife in your back.
It would be...
Food hard of you.
Counterproductive.
Okay, so that's why you don't keep parties and stuff.
No.
So you don't want to give them your food and your drinks and then the food in your back. That's the last word. This program repeats This program repeats tomorrow at 10 o'clock following the VON News Minute. Join the Honorable Mark Brantley tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock for On Demand. Thank you all again for joining us. This is your voice in the community. Thought that get results. You all have a wonderful evening.